Popular for a reason.
Thanks for being with us tonight here on the Weather Channel as we track severe weather, and we want to look forward into tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be a very big severe weather day as well. You know, one thing I want to point out, we've been talking about this whole line all night long, Warren, is that St. Louis, which has already been hit hard by storms here tonight with a lot of hail, multiple tornado warnings, they've got storms which are trying to redevelop right now. That could be moving through the downtown area again. They're not severe at the moment, but it's something that we're watching, and the rain really hasn't stopped.
It's still raining, still coming down right now, and the stronger storms have moved off. It doesn't necessarily mean we're completely done yet, does it?
It doesn't. So want to take a look at this line and take a closer look at those storms. You can see the severe weather has now moved eastward into central parts of Illinois. But here we go. Here are those storms that I was talking about. So you may get more lightning. You may get more heavy downpours. And that's going to be one of the things I'm more concerned about, honestly, is that we can get some flash flooding with another round of really heavy rain going through here. So even though we're not dealing with any more warnings, at least not at the moment, it doesn't mean our risks are going to be over with here tonight.
Right, and here's Interstate 70 and the heavier rain moving to Effingham right there, then eventually 57. So Terre Haute, you're in line there, Indianapolis, Bloomington, so all of this is heading that way. And in some areas, especially a bit farther to the south, that intensity, there's really no signs of it letting up. The ingredients are there for an overnight severe weather and tornado threat.
All right, so might want to mention that the storms around Little Rock have moved off of Little Rock. We've got one to the south that still bears watching. That's something we're going to continue to monitor. But we also have a brand new tornado warning here in Mississippi. You know, we've been watching that whole main line, and now we've got one storm. We showed you before the break, went to a severe thunderstorm warning. Now we've got a tornado warning on this thing, and you can really see how this has evolved into a nice looking supercell here, Chris.
Yeah, look at that really obvious appendage, the hook there, and then there's the area with the large hail. We've seen reports of some very large hail tonight. This is a multifaceted system with multiple threats, but of course the tornado threat is the big one. Long-lasting, strong tornadoes a possibility.
Yeah, kind of broad rotation within this area, just to the west of Highway 49W. So we'll continue to monitor that one. Greenwood, you were in the path of that possible tornado. Oops, I did the wrong thing there. Let me try again. Oh, there we go. Nope. I got it. All right, I want to focus in on tomorrow. This is where we're going next because these storms are going to continue tonight. They're going to continue all day tomorrow, and they're going to go into Sunday, meaning that we have more severe weather ahead of us. And some of these areas, I mean, we've got a tornado warning in Mississippi right now. This is tomorrow.
Right, right.
So it could happen again.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately what we can see. Now, there's a couple wild cards here. So one possible scenario, unfortunately, this does not look like the most likely scenario, is that there's enough storm activity tonight to create a little bit of cooling, some cloud cover, which could inhibit some storm development. That being said, all the other ingredients that are around make that not look like the likely case. But I'm basically just what I'm saying is we're going to have multiple rounds of storms, and in this case it looks like it might not help us this time. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it can make it tough for the storms to get going the next day.
Right.
Not necessarily the case tomorrow.
It's always good to plan for the worst, hope for the best. I'd be talking this up with my people if this is where your people live or if you live there as well. And make sure they're aware of this risk. You know, the highest risk is down here. And when I say high, we mean high. It's very rare to have a high risk issued on day 2. Okay, that almost never happens. So that tells us that their confidence is very, very solid that this is going to be evolving and that we have a strong tornado risk and a long track tornado risk. So that the high area is mostly because of the tornado risk. We still have a wind damage threat. We still have a hail threat, but what's going to be most life-threatening likely will be long-track tornadoes in this area. But look at how far north
so
this
far north
stretches too.
Here. You know, I think what's also a big deal is just, I mean, the very light, that's huge, right? That's a very, you know, because it's rare, but look how large just the likely part of it is. And then in there, it's just really the confidence that there's going to be some damaging storms.
So look at all these big cities, you know, Nashville, Atlanta, we've got New Orleans. A lot of major metropolitan areas are going to be impacted tomorrow.
And the energy still with us tomorrow morning. It's going to rebound, building. So the flow, those arrows coming in at different levels too. So you're getting a lot of moisture transport a little bit above where there's some of the stronger winds and a lot of moisture coming up in to feed these storms all the way up into the Ohio Valley.
So winds are increasing, turning with height. We've got a lot of shear, as we call it, the upper level component to all of this. We got a jet max that's going to be screaming in there, and winds off the surface, above, are going to be very strong and very fast, and that's going to help to also spread the atmosphere apart. When you think of like a swimmer, like doing the breaststroke, right? They spread the water out, and underneath that water comes up to replace it. That's what's going to be happening in the air tomorrow. So we'll have violent updrafts, which can turn into these supercells.
And it's the strong tornadoes, right? And then the long track, particularly dangerous.
The noise can be deafening, but not here.
Hey, this is America's Morning Headquarters.
It's just cool that we're talking snow.
Isn't it?
I think it's great.
There's all sorts of things that are happening in the atmosphere.
Avoid the noise and take in the fresh air.
It has started.
America's Morning Headquarters, every morning on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 42 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, fog developing overnight. Low 39. Winds light and variable. Saturday, cloudy with areas of morning fog. High 57. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, cloudy. Low 51. Winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This program brought to you by